Good morning, everyone. I am back from break to start a brand new streaming week. And on today's show, we got a loaded one. First of all, Phil's day off because I want to tell you what I did on my day off yesterday. Plus, we've got an interesting amount of game news, particularly covering Game Pass updating itself literally for the worse, benefiting consumers in no possible way. Interesting moves by Microsoft and Xbox these days. But in addition to that, I have a big follow-up to the joystick debacle from Tuesday's stream. On this very show, when I was disassembling my stick and trying to upgrade parts and shift stuff around, and it didn't go according to plan. Well, I have not one, but two updates regarding this. So this will be a very interesting show. All right, thank you all. Welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. Oh, good morning. Welcome to the show, everyone. It is Friday. No, it's not Friday. It's Thursday, July 11th, 2024. I am confused because, as you know, my schedule has been shifting around recently. Last couple of weeks, my day off has now been Wednesday instead of Thursday. So my day back always used to be Friday, but now it's Thursday. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually have no idea if that's going to stick for this week. I am waiting on updates just like all of you. And once I know what my schedule will be for the rest of the week, I will let you know. As you know, my schedule is more flexible. It's kind of dictated more like around the world around me. When I can make appointments, when appointments shift to out of my control, my wife's schedule, other things like that, everything. So when I know, you will know. But for now, I'm just kind of leaving it as, okay, well, it's going to be just like last week, where Wednesday will be my day off coming up. But I don't know. I can't guarantee that. I will definitely be here, a good amount of days, 4 or 5 days at least. I just don't know when exactly the day off will be next week, okay? Okay, now, we are in the midst of a crazy heat wave here in Washington State. This last week, we had 5 straight days of 90-degree weather, Fahrenheit that is, and now we have an entire week. I'm not kidding you. The entire schedule for the coming week is all 87 plus degrees every day. No clouds at all in the sky. Crazy ass amount of heat. And this is obviously weird and kind of unprecedented. We've had hot summers. I don't think we've had this long of a streak of constant heat before, like 2 straight weeks of it. And so my air conditioner is basically working max, especially when I'm playing fighting games, and it's already hot in here because my blood pressure's up. So it's been nuts. Like when I played Street Fighter on Monday, no exaggeration, I had my air conditioner on max, and it was still like 80 degrees in here. And here I am trying to play Street Fighter 6, freaking out, getting pissed off, and it's like, oh my God, it's like the recipe for disaster, right? And so I guess we'll see what happens. Moving forward, I really hope that it does cool down in about a week, but right now, there's like no end in sight at this point. So we got a lot to talk about, okay? I think what we should do first things first. We should talk about the whole joystick situation from Tuesday's podcast. Some people liked the podcast. They were like, oh, that was something completely different. Instead of doing your usual shtick of all your segments and everything, you actually just did some joystick modding. It was nice to see someone do something like that. You don't really do that, too often. I mean, probably the last time I did it was, 10 years ago or more, back when I was into fighting games so much. So to open the joystick and to show you the insides of what it looks like, replacing parts, explaining my experience trying to mod this Kanba Obsidian 2 joystick and how disappointed I was that they did not leave enough space between the joystick and buttons to install any kind of joystick comfortably. I think that was a huge design flaw of the joystick that they should definitely improve, especially for the price, because the price is incredible. I mean, this joystick was over $300 when I bought it last year. So there you go. Of course, I also announced that there is a new suggestion box, okay? And that suggestion box is a reset for the coming month, essentially. That if people posted up their suggestions there, that would be a better place to do it than the old one, because the old one I wasn't going to go back to. It was 3 months outdated. So I can already tell you already, in the suggestion box, we got dozens of suggestions. Some of them are legit great suggestions. Some of them are literally gripe sessions with insults and all kinds of dumb shit again, so those people are banned from the channel. I mean, I couldn't have possibly outlined it any clearer on Tuesday when I said, the suggestion box is not a bitch box. It's not for you to vent on me about things that you don't like about me or my content. What you're supposed to be doing is identifying things that you feel could be improved, explain why and how, okay? Or if it's something that I'm not doing at all, that maybe you feel like it's something that would be cool for me to do, but I haven't thought of it, that's constructive criticism and constructive suggestions. Now, I just don't like your show. Oh, I don't like, you're a lazy person, you know, you're a terrible gamer. Oh, huh? You sit around begging all day long, it's all you do. Okay, bye. You know, thanks for the suggestion. Here's the response. Leave my channel forever. I don't need to bother with you because you're full of it anyway, right? So, you know, great suggestions. You know, but in reality, there's a lot of good ones. I jest because it's just silly that half the people there are sitting there being stupid. But anyway, so, you know, thank you. Please continue to suggest stuff constructively. I will be reviewing those in time. I'm definitely not going to do it today with the amount that I have to talk about today. But in time, it'll be a good thing to draw upon for the show. See what kind of stuff you guys want to improve here, okay? So suggestion box is open. The link is in the chat, you know, exclamation point suggestion, or there's a community post about it back from Tuesday. That's the post you post up in, okay? Now, here we go. Ready? So basically, Tuesday, I wanted to open my joystick and I wanted to swap parts around with my Xbox joystick. Why? Because I felt like I was having issues with the stick. Like, there was active times when I'm playing Street Fighter 6 and I try to drive rush to the right, and my character just does a standing parry as if I never tapped right. There's times when I try to snap a block down back right, and the game just completely drops the input and I get hit. And I'm like, so something's going on. And by the way, so this is the joystick that I removed from the Combo Obsidian 2 on Tuesday morning. And what's funny about it is, supposedly, this is supposed to be an official Sanwa joystick, which is a great brand of joystick. But I'm telling you right now, as I look all around this, there is not a single spot on this joystick that says Sanwa. And all Sanwa parts are branded. It says Sanwa right on them. And this one doesn't say Sanwa anywhere from what I'm looking. I can't find that. Which makes me wonder, is Obsidian skimping? Not Obsidian, excuse me, is Kanba skimping? I don't know. I'm not accusing them. I'm just saying, why is it that this joystick, nowhere on it says Sanwa? But on all the buttons, it says Sanwa. On all of the other parts that Sanwa manufactures, it says it printed right on it, Sanwa. So you know it's name brand, right? So I don't know. I'm not saying, oh, here's evidence of anything. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I just find it odd that nowhere on here is that. I'm looking like from every possible direction, and I don't see it saying Sanwa on it anywhere. Not on the motherboard, not on the sides of the plastic. Nowhere. Oh, never mind. I found it. Okay, I found it. It's on the plate itself right here. It says Sanwa. So it is a genuine Sanwa joystick. I can confirm that. But ever since the day I got this joystick, I had issues. And I don't know why I'm having those issues going to the right. And it could just be a faulty joystick. It could be the motherboard in that joystick. It could be many different things going on. Okay? It really could be. So I don't know. So the only way to really know the truth is to change it. So that's what I did. I took the joystick out of my Xbox controller, which apparently is a Hori brand joystick called a Hayabusa. It is a much looser joystick than this one. Okay? And I installed it into my Convo Obsidian 2 joystick. The problem is, now the things don't line up and fit right because there's not enough room. This one, as you can see, is a rectangle plate. That one is a giant square. So it aligns, but now this part, this wire part right here, is pushing into the wires for the button, the light kick. Okay? So not much I can do about it for now, but there's been some developments. So allow me to give you the developments that have happened in the last 48 hours, because it's just funny that all this stuff always happens on my day off anyway, right? So let me get rid of this. Okay, so. No, you can't swap the metal plate on the Hayabusa joystick, because on the Hayabusa joystick, it's a plastic plate that's actually part of the physical stick. With the Sanwa joysticks, it's a separate plate, but for the Hayabusa manufactured by Hori, it's actually all one piece. So you can't swap it out. It's a giant square no matter what you do. Part of the manufacturing of the stick, I think. So, two things happened, okay? First of all, yesterday, which I'm going to talk about Phil's day off in a moment, but this is part of yesterday, so I might as well bring it up. I received a message overnight from a viewer saying, listen, saw what happened on the podcast yesterday with you trying to update your joystick. Very unfortunate that happened. Hopefully it still works, but I would like to help you out and basically pay for a replacement joystick. You need to get one that has a rectangular plate so it'll really fit in your joystick properly. So I'm willing to do that. You know, looking on average on Amazon, they cost like 25, 30 bucks. Can you get one? And I looked on Amazon yesterday morning. It was actually, you know, I had breakfast with my wife, and then she went to get ready for our day out. And while she was there, that's when I was, you know, basically researching all of this. So I looked into it. And yes, right on Amazon, you can order a Sanwa joystick, a name brand new Sanwa joystick, unused, for I think it was like 28 bucks plus tax and everything. So I said, yeah, I mean, if you're willing to help out with that, yeah, I would order it right now. Like, I would literally just order it now because you know, you paid for it or whatever. And so they said, yeah, so I ordered it, and then they sent me like 30 bucks. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really nice of you. Thank you so very much. So right now, I have a new Sanwa joystick, replacement stick, basically a different version of that one I just showed you, but brand new, en route to the house. It is coming today between 1 to 4 p.m., but it doesn't say exactly when, and it's not showing. Usually what happens with Amazon is when the driver is nearby, it'll tell you how many stops it is away from your house. So this definitely could show up around 1, right when we start gameplay after this podcast. It could show up at 4 when we're done. And there was no way to speed that up. There wasn't any way to get it faster. There was no option to pay for more. It was just, hey, it comes when it comes. So there's nothing I could do about that whatsoever. It's coming today. It may show up in the middle of the stream. And when it does, we might pause gameplay, go get it, install it live, and then try it out, break it in, right? We might do that, okay? So just to forewarn everyone, today might not be a very serious stream of Street Fighter 6. I may just do casual play because, number one, I'm using this Hayabusa stick with a button. My light kick button is sticking out of the joystick. You probably won't be able to see it. Do you see it? It's sticking at an angle. Yeah, look, you can. See, look at the light kick. It's actually sticking out of the joystick at an angle right there. See it? It's not flat like the other buttons. So, and there's nothing I can do. If I push it in, it doesn't work. It fucks up. So I have to have it sticking out of the stick in order for it to even work. Not a good situation. So, when this actual brand new Sanwa shows up, I can install it. That'll fix the issue here, and then this will be properly placed and working again. Okay? So there you go. Now, that was update number 1. Okay? It is way tilted. It's like this. It's like sticking out. All right, it's not like that. It's more like a slight angle, but it's very annoying. So, that's happening now. So, I had my day out, and we'll talk about that in a moment. We'll do the Phil's Day Off segment and all of that, okay? And so, later in the day, I come home, and, you know, I'm relaxing on the couch, and what I tend to do is a couple times a week, I'll actually check my junk email box, because I, sadly, over the years, have gotten so many junk emails that my filters on my emails now are, like, insane. they will flag like 80% of the emails I get as junk, properly so, because most of them are. You know, it's just insane when you have a public email how much nonsense happens. So I'm just checking the junk email box just in case there's something there that maybe I missed, because sometimes I get an unbanned request. Sometimes I do legit get a message from a fan that got flagged as spam or whatever. And I'm looking, and there's an email from like 9 in the morning. And I'm like, oh, let me see what this is. And I open it up, and it's a person. They claim that they're a longtime viewer and fan, and they saw what happened on the podcast on Tuesday. So that's very unfortunate. And actually, basically, ever since I got this Kanba joystick, they've been kind of weary about it, because some people like this Obsidian 2 joystick, and a lot of people don't. There's kind of mixed feelings about it in the fighting game community. But basically, they're like, you know, I wish that you had bought the other one. Now, for those that don't know, there is a joystick out there that is crazy, all right? It's literally the most expensive fighting game joystick you can kind of buy. That's a pre-build, you know what I mean? And, you know, it has all the bells and whistles. It looks fancy. It's got the highest grade parts available. It opens up so you can mod it easily. It's got fancy features. It's got everything. It's called the Victrix Pro, or just Victrix. I don't know. It's called Victrix. I know that. Like Victrix. I've seen this. I've seen people using it at tournaments online. Like you see with the streams, you see them playing on it, and people talk about it, and basically they're like, yeah, this is considered like the Rolls Royce of fighting game joysticks. If you really want to spend a lot of money on a stick, that's the one you get. The problem is it's $400 plus tax. I mean, this stick, the Obsidian 2, was like 300 and change, like 310, 320. So now another $100 on top of that for this thing. So I think you understand why I didn't buy that last year, right? So anyway, getting back to the point, this person emails me. It hit my spam. I found it later in the day, and the email says, yeah, you know, I really wish that when you bought your stick last year, you had bought the Victrix, because pretty much no one complains ever about the Victrix. Like, it's got the absolute best. I think the parts in it are called Sanwa, like, Densu or something. Like, they're a better version of Sanwa parts that are higher grade than the standard ones that you would order or put into your stick, or the ones that came in this Obsidian. Like, they're supposed to be a step up from that, okay? So, yeah, and by the way, it works with everything. It works with PS4, PS5, and PC, just like my Obsidian. So, obviously, you know, it's the highest end one. So they're like, well, here's what I want to do. I want to buy you and donate this Victrix joystick. Now, keep in mind, I don't know who this person is. I've never spoken to them before, at least to my knowledge. This is not someone who I know who's like a regular, you know, contributor or donor to my streams or anything like that at all. All right? This is just someone out of the blue emailing me. So they said, just so you know, I'm not a troll. I'm a longtime fan. You know, I am very interested in getting it to you. Please respond. So I did. I went back. I said, listen, obviously, I don't know if I can trust you or not. I get a lot of nonsense, but, you know, obviously, with the situation I'm having right now, you know, the Xbox stick doesn't work on my PS5. The PS5 stick now is all messed up because I switched parts and they don't fit. And now, you know, I don't know if it's even going to work right. You know, it could be this Sanwa stick shows up today. I install it and now it's broken because the wiring screwed up from being smashed together for 2 days. It might break. You know, I have no idea what's going to happen with this joystick. So I said, okay, if you're serious about this and you're willing to donate, you know, I guess I would accept it. Obviously, I need something to play fighting games on. I don't have $400 to drop. You know, this is a nice gesture. Okay? So basically, I went back and forth with this person a few times yesterday, and supposedly they ordered it for me. And they sent me, like, they showed that it shipped and everything from Amazon, and it's en route to my home, and it's supposed to be arriving tomorrow. Now, don't know when it's going to show up tomorrow, but if it actually is real and it shows up tomorrow, I could do a live unboxing when it shows up, and then we could do a test stream on Friday Night Fights of this new joystick to see how different it is from the Kanba. If I like it more, if I don't like it as much, we'll have to see. But this is if it's real, and here's the thing. I hope it's real, but it might not be. It could be baloney, right? The thing is, it is an Amazon shipment. It's not like, oh, this came direct from the person. It's a box that they fucked with me. It's coming straight from Amazon, okay? Now, it could be an Amazon package. I open it up, and it's like a whoopee cushion that says, haha, tough luck, right? Or it could actually be the joystick, but it'll be a legit Amazon shipment, okay? So, I guess we're going to find out tomorrow firsthand what this is and if it's legit or not. Okay? If it's legit, I mean, that's just basically, I mean, now I'm getting like the most optimized setup you could possibly have to play Street Fighter 6. I've got a TV with 120 hertz, VRR, right? Running at 1080p. I've got little to no input delay whatsoever because I reduced the input delay. You know, I'm going to have a top of the line joystick, right? Like, now, what color did they order? Good question, Dab Hands. They actually asked me what color I wanted, and I said, surprise me. I don't care. I don't care what the color is. So I know that I guess there's a purple one and a white one. I don't really care what color it is. I guess we'll see what they ordered if it's legit. Okay? So it's arriving tomorrow. I just don't know when. And we'll see if it's real or not. I'm sure all eyes will be on this. It could be a box of you know, live scorpions. No, you can't get those on Amazon. That's what I mean. Like, it's coming straight off of Amazon. It's a legit Amazon shipment and box. So I know to trust it. It's something they ordered off of Amazon. Now, is it necessarily the joystick? Maybe not. It could be baloney. It could be like a stupid thing that's, you know, messing with me. I don't know. But I think, you know, hopefully it's legit. You would hope that they're not messing with me, right? But they could be. See, they sent me the link. It says you can track the delivery with this link. And you click on it. And it does open up in Amazon tracking a shipment. But it doesn't say what the shipment is. It just says shipped, carrier picked up the package. And that's it. Yeah. I can't see what it is. That's the thing. I can't. It doesn't show you on Amazon. I guess when you send someone a tracking link, it shows you the tracking link. But it doesn't show you anything else. Yeah. So I can't see if this is legit or not. I mean, it is weird. It is definitely weird that they don't send you information about what it is that's shipping. Like, it just says, arriving tomorrow by 10 p.m., but that's the default, and then they update that during the day, right? But it says nothing about what the item is at all. It just says shipped, and it says address info, Amazon customer, address was hidden for privacy, which is fine. I understand that. They don't want me, you know, they don't want that information. I don't need to know the address it came from, but it could be bullshit. So here's the thing. If it is bullshit, if this is just someone messing with me and it's not really the joystick they're claiming, and if it's, like someone said, maybe it's a box of adult diapers, right? It could be. It could be a joke. It could be someone pranking me, right? And if that's the case, I guess that's all right. Who cares, right? But it is something legit off of him. I guess I'll know when I see the size of the box, right? If it's this joystick, it's going to be a huge box. If it's a tiny little box, I know it's not what it is. I'll just throw it out, right? I guess we'll find out tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, so I guess we'll see what happens. Now, at the very least, okay, the Sanwa joystick is coming today. All right, so at the very least, I will be able to install the Sanwa, and hopefully that will fix the issue. No guarantees, because the wires could be damaged. You know, I don't know. But I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best. By the way, they just updated it again. Now it says it's going to come between 12 and 3. Yeah, they updated it. Estimated delivery window could change due to traffic and other conditions. Keep checking for updates. It still doesn't say how many deliveries out it is, but it says it might come between 12 and 3. So we might have it in time for the stream today. We might not. It might show up in the middle of the stream. I don't know. Right? So let's see what happens. If the Sanwa stick shows up today, live install, and then testing it out. Either way, I'm playing with the Hayabusa with a crooked button now. So I'm going to do casual play before I even attempt ranked. And we'll go from there. And then tomorrow, we see what shows up during my streaming day. We see what actually shows up at the house. If it's really a Victrix joystick, if it is, amazing. Obviously, live unboxing, testing it. Friday Night Fights will be pretty awesome. If it's not, well, it's a joke. Who cares? Not a big deal, right? I wouldn't even be that upset. I mean, I'm not asking for nor expecting a Victrix joystick. I don't, you know, it's very hard for me to trust. And so I guess we'll see what shows up to the house. Like I said, if it was a box of adult diapers, I would probably laugh. Like, all right, that's pretty funny, actually. You know? Anyway, so that's what's going on with the joystick, all right? So now, I think what we should do, let's transition into Phil's day off, and then we'll talk about the schedule for the week, and then we'll do game news, and then we'll move on with the show, okay? Okay. All right, so Phil's day off. Yesterday, it was 88 degrees outside, and it was full sun, and there were no clouds in the sky. It sucked. So my wife and I went out and did some stuff. We went grocery shopping together. We had a couple appointments we had to do in the afternoon. We went to the pet store and saw a bunch of cute animals. They actually got a scorpion, a black scorpion, and it was very active. It was like going crazy in its container cage thing. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I haven't seen a real scorpion in person probably since I was like, you know, at a zoo or something at some point. So that was neat. And we saw some kitties. They had like kitties for adoption. One of them was like meow 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 meow. Wouldn't stop talking. It was really funny. It was a cute kitten, and of course that one says, "Oh, it already has a home lined up." Of course, it's the kitten that won't stop talking. That's the one that's going to get the home right away, right? Yeah. So we got Jasper some stuff. And we were out and about. Did a few things, but basically, here's the thing. So we left. I want to say we left around noon, and then we did all the stuff. We went shopping. We came home, unloaded. We had our appointments. Basically, we were finally kind of done with everything by like 4 p.m., 4:30-ish. And we were like, now it's time for us to like have fun. Let's actually go do things that are fun. But it was so hot. We were like, oh God, it wasn't pleasant. Let's put it that way. When you get to a certain heat level and when there's no clouds in the sky, everywhere you go is hot. I mean, yeah, we had the air conditioning on in the car, but the moment you step out of the car, it's just like very uncomfortable. And we were just like, this isn't going to be fun. Like, no matter what we try to do, it's going to end up being really yucky, gross, because it's too hot. It was humid too. It was like, I want to say it was like 60, 70% humidity, which is actually quite humid for our area too. So it was just like, yuck. So I guess we'll see. What am I saying? I guess we'll see. I read the chat and it distracted me. But anyway, yeah, so basically after like 4.5 hours of being out and getting through all the stuff we needed to do, we were like, well, this isn't comfortable. We're just going to go home. So we did. It sucks because we had other stuff we wanted to do, like stuff for fun. So we didn't even eat out while we were out. We came home and, you know, we relaxed for a while. We cleaned the house a little bit. We watched a lot of BattleBots. I keep telling you guys we've been watching BattleBots recently, and we're going through all the seasons that are available on Max. And at this point, we're up to almost the latest season, but not yet. Like, we've been really binge watching it for like over a month. All the time we watch TV is usually BattleBots. And so for dinner, we wanted to do something that we knew we would like, but maybe from somewhere different. You know what I mean? Like, when you order food, you tend to want to trust the same places because you know that you can rely on it to be good. And sometimes we do more venturous stuff, and we'll order from a place we haven't ordered from before. We'll try a new kind of cuisine, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it just doesn't. Like I told you, a few weeks ago, we ordered from a Thai place, and for some odd reason, it was way hotter than the time before, and it just burned our mouths out. It was like not even edible. And we're like, why did they make it that hot? So, you know, you always take a chance. So we wanted to order some kind of like Indian food, but we didn't want to get our from our usual place that we order from. So we ordered from a different place that was brand new. They had actually just opened within the last like month or so. And we basically kind of ordered things that we knew we would like. But this place, we didn't know how they were going to do it, if it was different or not. So I ordered chicken vindaloo curry. And my wife ordered lamb is it biryani or biryani? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the rice dish where they put all kinds of seasonings and ingredients in it and cook it up with the meat, right? And we ordered naan bread. And so we put the order in, and we were told immediately they're out of naan bread, but you have a chance to do a replacement order. So I said, all right, what else do they have for like breads? And they actually had a different kind of bread called roti, R-O-T-I. Now, I didn't know anything about roti. My wife did. She's like, yeah, it's a different kind of Indian bread that they really like. You know, also, it's not just Indian. I guess Middle Eastern food eats it too. but it's another very popular bread. And since I was getting curry, I was going to want something to dip in it. Like, all right, we'll try that instead. Okay? So we ordered this roti bread, and we ordered this other stuff. So, first of all, the food shows up, and I pick up the bag. I'm like, the bag is so heavy. I was like, oh my God. This bag is like incredibly heavy. Like, how much is in here? And so I go to the table, my curry, all right, and this is the same price as other Indian restaurants in the area. It wasn't like it was overly expensive. My curry was in this giant round platter, and it was deep. I kid you not, this was definitely like 1.5 pounds of curry. There was so much curry, and I was like, holy shit, I have not seen a place give you that much. And then my wife's biryani rice also was this giant rectangular container that was deep, and it also was weighing like maybe 1.5 pounds, if not heavier than that. And so we were like, whoa, this place definitely is massive on the portions. Now, they're brand new, so maybe they're trying to get business by being massive on the portions, and that will change, who knows. But, I mean, it was a ton of food for other places where we order, and you don't get nearly that much, okay? So, we open up the food, and immediately we notice something. The smell. It's incredibly aromatic, right? I take a taste of my chicken vindaloo. It's tons of flavor. Strong tomato flavor. Along with all the spice, garlic you can taste in there, and other things in there. And I'm like, this just tastes way stronger than the stuff that we've gotten from other Indian places. So my wife starts eating the biryani, and she goes, like, I was like, what? She goes, the flavor is insane. She's like, there's like so much in it. First of all, she starts looking at it. She's like, look how much is in this. There's a ton of different kind of vegetables. There's leaves, and that's actually how they actually cook it. There's hard-boiled egg, which we've never gotten in a biryani before. There's hard-boiled egg in there. The lamb has been chopped and minced and put in there, so you could just eat it like almost like fried rice from like a Chinese restaurant. It's all mixed in, so you can just eat it nicely. You don't have to look for the chunks. It's just in there. And she's like, this is absolutely the best biryani. But compared to other places we've gotten it, this is just so good. It's like a big improvement step up. Okay? So then I get the roti bread. Now, roti is different from naan. Naan is thicker, fluffier bread that has like a char on the bottom. The roti bread is very thin, okay? But in some places it'll be crispy. In other places it'll be a little bit chewy. So it's interesting. You know, you fold it up and you can dip it in things. They actually give us a cooling, tangy yogurt sauce as well to dip the roti bread in. So I tried it with different things. I tried it with my curry. I tried it with the yogurt sauce. It had good flavor. The bread was not like bland or flavorless. It had good, like you could taste that it had been fresh made. Like you could taste a little bit of singe on the bread, and whatever it is that was in it, it was just very flavorful bread. So I was just blown away. I was like, so basically every single thing we've ordered from this place is a big improvement on the other Indian places that we've actually gotten in the area. So, you know, you don't know what you're missing until you have it. And then when we got this food and saw how much better it was bigger portion, way more flavor, right? But there was one catch, okay? For those who don't know, chicken vindaloo is actually supposed to be spicy, and I was okay with that. I knew that when I ordered it. So I started eating it. And by the way, it has potatoes in there too, which was good because I swear I've gotten vindaloo at other places. They didn't put potatoes in, but this one had potatoes in it too. So I'm eating it, and at first, like, okay, it's a little hot. And I keep eating it more. I'm like, okay, it's definitely a building spice. Like, it's not just like a set level. This thing is like increasing in its frequency of heat the more you eat it. Okay? So I gave a piece to Kat. She tried it. She was like, oh, it's good, but it's way too spicy for me. She's like, I like the flavors, but man, that's too spicy. Now I know I would not order the vindaloo from here. I'd order something different, more tame. Okay? So then I just keep eating, and then, oh my, it just kind of, I get to the level where it's like, wait a minute. Oh, my eyes are watering. My face is like pink. I'm like, oh, it's good. I love the flavor. I need to eat more, but the spice. Oh, it's like painful to eat, but I love it. Like, I'm loving it. It's a good kind of spice. The difference is some places the spice is like this overwhelming bite that burns your mouth. This wasn't doing that. It was just generally raising my body temperature by a lot. I was like, oh man, but it was good. So no exaggeration, I ate it. I ate all of the meat and the potatoes. I just didn't finish all the curry sauce because, man, it was so hot. But I ate all the pieces in it. You know, I didn't want to leave anything behind because it tasted so good. My wife actually had tons of the rice left over, so we kept it for leftovers. And I'm sure she'll have it, you know, sometime this week as a snack or maybe something at night. And so it was actually quite delicious. And so we were very pleased. And when we actually checked the bill, it actually was a little bit cheaper than the other Indian restaurants that we've ordered from. So just think about this. Cheaper prices, bigger portions, stronger flavors, right? Like, how do you go wrong? I mean, you don't, right? It was super good. So we were very, very pleased with our meal. And we're looking forward to possibly getting it again in the future. And if we order Indian, that's probably where we're going to order from because it was so dang good. Okay? So we had a good meal. But basically outside of that, yeah, we just watched a lot of BattleBots. It was very hot. We had all the air conditioners pumping, but it was still like 80 degrees downstairs. So not much you could do. Or when you're hot, you come upstairs here to where all the air conditioners are pumping. We can't have an air conditioner downstairs because we don't have a window. I'm serious. We don't have a window. All the windows downstairs are considered bay windows, meaning they don't open. So we can't put an air conditioner in a window downstairs. We're stuck with all of them up here and trying to get, you know, the air to go downstairs. We have a bunch of fans and stuff trying to blow the air downstairs. And sometimes it works, but it's just when the ambient heat becomes so strong at one point, it's like, what are you going to do? You sweat it out, right? So, and that's what I mean. We're going to have to do that for like at least another week. The temperatures are not going down at all. Okay? So anyway, so people are asking me, did I blow up the toilet? Well, let me put it this way. I was fine for most of the day. Really, I was. And so it's the end of the night, and we're getting ready for bed, and my wife is in the shower, and after she's out of the shower, we go right to bed. And so it's my job to wrangle Jasper Kitty and get him upstairs into the bedroom so we can all go to sleep. Because if we don't put him in the bedroom, he runs all around the house all night making noise and wakes us up, and it's the only way we get a restful sleep is to have him sleep with us in the bedroom and close the door. Okay? So it's my job to wrangle Jasper Kitty. And I can hear my wife's getting out of the shower. I was like, okay, now it's time. And so I go to get Jasper. And the moment that I bend over to try to like pick him up, I hear, oh, wait a minute. Oh, boy. And I ran to the bathroom. And I mean, I could describe what happened. But I might actually like the stream might actually have to be shut down if I do. Because of the level of graphic activity that happened. Okay? But let's just say that chicken Vindaloo is just as spicy on the way out. Okay. So yeah, it was pretty bad. And then I get Jasper, we go upstairs, and Kat's like, what happened? Where were you? You took forever. I was like, oh, do you really want to know what just happened? Like, of course, it had to happen the moment before I'm going to bed. Like, couldn't have happened during the day. The moment I'm going to bed is when it hit, right? So, yeah. Anyway, that was my day off. That was Phil's day off. I forgot to do the Phil's day off. Oh, man. All right, hold on. I got to start over. All right. So, basically yesterday, it was very hot. It was like 88 degrees. And so because of that, we had a lot of stuff we had to do. And we started off, you know, going out and doing our usual stuff. Like we went off grocery. I'm not going to do Phil's day off again. What are you kidding me? I'm not starting over just because I forgot the logo. Big deal, right? People are like, wait a minute. He actually is starting over. It's not a joke. No, it's a joke. I'm not going to do that segment again. Come on. That's ridiculous. Okay. All right. So that was Phil's day off. All right. Let's talk about the schedule. All right. Today, it's a messy Street Fighter 6 stream, to say the least, right? Like, I don't even know how Street Fighter 6 is going to go as I start today. Here, let me see if I can update this. It just is out for delivery, but it still doesn't say how many stops or where the person is yet. So we're gonna start with the Hayabusa joystick and the crooked button and try to play some casual play with Bison and warm up. I did watch some Bison videos last night, and I think at this point, I think I'm finally getting it. And what I mean by that is, I think the flaw in my game, honestly, is that I'm trying to poke people with standing medium punch, low medium punch, and it's actually not that good. Medium punch actually gets stuffed quite a bit. Bison's best pokes are either low medium kick, standing medium kick, or jab. Yeah, it seems like jab is actually better than medium punch. And that's why as I'm playing with Bison, I'm trying to poke people. It's like, why are they always hitting me? How are they always like counter hit, punish, counter hit, punish? Why is it doing that? Because his medium punch actually isn't that good. So I could use medium punch, but only if I bait people. Okay? So if I bait, like I go forward, then I like do a back step, wait for them to attack, then counter attack. Okay? But in the meantime, I think I'm going to use jab a lot more. And the thing is, jab, if you time it right, you can combo jab into crouching medium, and then you can drive rush after for a full combo. Or you could just do EX scissor kick after the medium, and you could just do a combo off of that. So it might actually be a safer hit confirm for me that I won't be drive rush canceling and burning more meter, and it might hit more often. Like, it might actually stop getting stuffed as much. That was the problem. It was getting stuffed quite a lot when I was using medium punch, and I think that's why I'm losing these matches now. Like, everyone figured out, yeah, medium punch ain't that good. Just stuff it. Mash jab. So my jab should be better, actually. So I'm going to try that today. I'm actually going to try to actively use jab more often. And I'm going to try to combo, rather than drive rushing a ton, I'm going to try to do jab combos confirmed into EX scissor kicks for juggles. And I'm also basically when I poke, I'm going to use low medium kick. I think low medium kick is the best poke because it's a big range. You could drive rush off of it into a guaranteed combo. And let's say I get a jab combo into the hands I land a mine. Now, if I hit low medium kick and drive rush, I can do a psycho crusher that creates a juggle state for bonus damage. And that's where the best Bisons are actually converting giant damage out of. So today I'm going to try these things. There's no guarantee they're going to work, but I want to try this out in casual and see if jab is better than medium, because medium has been stuffed a lot. And go from there. So that's it. But here's the thing. We're starting with this messed up joystick. At some point, the Sanwa stick should arrive. I should be able to install the Sanwa stick in there. Maybe that'll improve the situation and make it better. I don't know. We'll find out. And that'll be the stream. Now, tonight, will I do ranked play? It depends. If things go well with this joystick and I'm feeling comfy, the Sanwa stick arrives and I break it in and I feel comfy, maybe we'll go to ranked. I don't want to guarantee it, only because I don't want to blow a ton of ranked points when my joystick's messed up. Okay? Tonight's late stream is the return of Riven Remastered. Yes, people have been wanting Riven all week. It's finally coming back tonight. And this week, I'm not going to miss any night streams. So I should be able to do full double stream days. And it shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Good stuff there. So Riven Remastered tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Please come by and hang out. It'll be a good one. All right? Tomorrow, it is Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. And we're going to be heading northwest into the big plateau area. I don't remember exactly what it's called. But yeah, we'll be exploring there. I've heard there's some interesting platforming and secret stuff there to do. And this is heading towards the end of the DLC. So we very well could beat Shadow of the Erdtree this week. We may not. I'm not sure if we will or not. But it looks like we're going to get close either way. Okay? Tomorrow night, Friday Night Fights. Now, if this Victrix stick is real and actually shows up, great. Right? That'd be amazing. If the Victrix stick actually is real, and then we'll try it tomorrow on Friday Night Fights and see how good it is. If it's not real and it's bogus, well, I guess we'll just have a good laugh at it. You know, big deal, not a big deal, right? It's not. I wasn't expecting a Victrix to begin with. Who's going to drop $400 on me? Okay. Saturday. More Shadow of the Erdtree. That's what I mean. We may actually beat it this week, because I was planning on doing 3 streams of it this week. And Saturday night will be Stardew Valley. Sunday's React Day. And then we'll play it by ear for the rest of the week, because it'll probably depend on what's going on with my joystick, how I'm feeling with everything. And plus, I don't know what my schedule is for the rest of the week. You know, I wish I did, but I can't tell you that yet till I know. Okay? So there you go. That's the schedule. Now, we have some game news to cover today. All right, I would like to do that. Would it be okay if I covered game news for all of you? Okay. It's time for my favorite segment and your favorite segment, and some people don't like it, but too bad. I don't care about their opinion. It's DSP News. Let's cover the news today. Okay? Our first news story of the day. Arc System Works announces a new 3D Double Dragon game coming to all platforms in 2025. The new game will faithfully reproduce the thrill of an old-school side-scrolling action game, but with updated controls and difficulty settings for the modern era, utilizing Arc System Works' fighting game development experience. Jimmy Lee, Billy Lee, Roper, Abobo, and more will appear in stylish 3D. So if you don't know what Arc System Works is, they're the people who make Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue. And I think they made other games too, right? So they're going to make a actual cool beat 'em up using fighting game mechanics. It means you'll probably have motions and tapping and everything instead of just mash button. It'll actually have like combos and stuff. And they're saying modern era difficulty. I'm assuming what they mean is it'll actually have some challenge to it, much like a modern fighting game, as opposed to just, you know, walk up and down and beat things up. You know what I would really like? So how many people know the game Guardian Heroes? All the time people ask me about, back in the day, good games for certain consoles, and they say, what about the Saturn? Did you ever have the Saturn? I did. One of the best games ever, all right, was Guardian Heroes, all right? And this game is excellent. It has 2D sprites that are drawn in an anime way. The character selection is very unique. It has an insane CD soundtrack, great music, and it's actually an incredibly long, fully featured beat-em-up video game. So it has a lot of stages. Basically, it's RPG too. Like, you level up as you play it. You get new abilities. You get new things. And depending on how you play it, you can make choices in the story that will change certain stages. Depending on your choices, you actually fight different bosses. So you can actually, there's replayability to go back and replay the game multiple times to see all the content. It's probably one of the best made beat 'em ups of all time. I would hope, since Arc System Works is involved, I actually hope that they will make it just like that. So, we'll see. I mean, this actually sounds really good to me, because people all the time ask me about beat 'em ups and stuff. Remember the Battletoads came out a few years ago, and I was like, This one, because it's actually made by a reputable fighting game company, is actually interesting me a lot. So we have to keep our eyes on this. A new 3D Double Dragon game coming out next year sounds really good to me, and I hope that you guys are excited like I am. Okay? Cool. And by the way, I'm getting a question in the chat. Do I do shout outs for contributions? Yes, at the end of the show. Right now I'm going to do game news. Once game news is over, then I do shout outs. So thank you for your contribution. I promise you will get a shout out. Okay? Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. So here's the big story is the Xbox story, but I think I had one more. Yeah, that's right. Nintendo is teasing a M-rated horror game on the Switch. Basically, they showed this like video trailer that translates to English to Smiling Man, and it shows a guy with like a paper bag on his head and a smile on it. It's just so weird. And it's like, whoa, Nintendo making a mature game these days is rare. You know, Nintendo usually makes more family-friendly fare these days, and to hear that they're actually purposefully making a mature-rated horror game is kind of neat, but there's literally no information about it at all. We don't know what kind it is. Is it survival horror? Is it something else? We don't know yet. But it's crazy because already people are like going nuts about it. They're like, wow, Nintendo doing something mature. You know, this looks good, and it looks to be an exclusive, like a Switch exclusive horror game. Could be neat. So I guess we'll have to see. Smiling Man, I think it was like Mr. Ito or Mr. Emo or something like that, but then they translated it and they said actually it means Smiling Man or something like that. Uramushi says Nintendo revived Bayonetta making mature isn't anything new for them. Yeah, but what I'm talking about is like a game that like is gonna appeal to the masses and get buzz going. I'm sorry, Bayonetta ain't it. Bayonetta was already an existing franchise somewhere else that Nintendo decided to publish. It wasn't like, oh, breaking news that Bayonetta is going to be exclusively on Nintendo. It's not a big deal. This is actually like a big new franchise announcement that seems like it could be pretty neat. Exactly. They bought it. They didn't create it. In this case, this looks like it's something original they're doing. Okay? All right, let's just get to the elephant in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, Xbox announced yesterday a large series of sweeping changes coming to Game Pass, literally none of which are any good at all. Okay? First of all, here's what's funny about this. 2 days ago, Xbox announced there is a new Xbox app you can download on your Amazon Fire TV stick. For those who don't know what an Amazon Fire TV stick is, it's a little device that's basically a USB thumb drive that also plugs into the HDMI of your TV. And it basically is a device that allows you to stream all kinds of video services. We have one in the living room, and we watch Amazon Prime Video, Max, YouTube app, and other things on it. That's how we watch all the shows that we watch. We watch it through the Amazon Fire TV stick. So they announced that basically now with this Fire TV stick, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you will be allowed to stream games through the cloud onto the Fire Stick for free, as long as you're paying for the Game Pass subscription. You don't need a console. You can now play Xbox games streamed through the cloud. And everyone was like, oh, is this part of the plan that Phil Spencer was mentioning? Remember he was saying Xbox Anywhere, you're no longer confined to the console? Yeah, this is actually their plan. They're planning on having Xbox app be updated on all formats, that now you could just stream their games through the cloud. You don't need a console anymore. Okay? Now, some are already skeptical about this. I'm one of them. Why? I shit you not, our Fire TV stick ain't that great. Like, we've had various different versions of this stick over the years. Basically, what happens is after like a year, the Fire TV stick just starts to run poorly. And likely it's because they're trying to push more data through it and more bullshit up in your face. But as they do that, it becomes bloated and it runs poorly. It does. And so usually about once every 1 to 2 years, you need to buy a new Fire TV stick because the last one just runs like shit. They're not expensive. When they go on sale, you can get one for like $20, but usually they're like $30, $40 on Amazon. So it's not that big of a deal. It's certainly not the cost of a console. But just using a Fire TV stick to watch video, in my experience, every 1 to 2 years, they kind of conk out and you got to buy another one. Now imagine you're trying to stream a full quality 1080p video game through that thing. Not just watching a static video that's streaming, but actually an interactive medium. Can you imagine that that thing's not going to have some kind of lag or problems? I don't believe it. I just don't. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like this is another Google Stadia attempt, and the Xbox wants to take their shot at it now. But I am not, I am really, really not interested in streaming fully all of my games through a Fire TV stick when it hasn't even proven to be 100% reliable just for video streaming. Okay? Now, I haven't used it. Perhaps we will. Perhaps we could test this. Maybe we could actually get the Xbox app on there and see. Now, the thing is, we don't have a controller that works for it, I don't think. Like, I don't know how would you control your Amazon Fire TV stick with a game controller. How would you even do that? I'm not sure. I don't think it has like Bluetooth or wireless. I don't know how you would even sync a controller with it. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is because literally the day after this was announced, Xbox announces giant sweeping changes to the Xbox Game Pass system. Are you ready? So here's the sweeping changes. An across-the-board price increase. Okay? If you just have PC Game Pass, which doesn't include the consoles, it's going to go from $9.99 to $11.99 a month. If you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, currently it is $16.99 a month. It is now going up to $19.99 a month. There is no longer an Xbox Game Pass console tier available. Only if you still have it can you keep it. No new subscribers can sign up just for console Game Pass. There will be a new version of console Game Pass. Okay? And that version will be more expensive than the current one. So basically what they're doing is they're canceling all of the cheapest versions of Game Pass they're upping the prices on the ones that exist. Okay? So now there's going to be... Yeah, so basically that Game Pass... What is it? Game Pass Standard or whatever will no longer exist. There's going to be like... It's going to be like Game Pass 4, which I guess is the PC version. No, there's no Game Pass console anymore. Now there's Game Pass Standard. There used to be Game Pass PC, Game Pass console, Game Pass Ultimate. And I think there was even a really cheap version that was like just online play, right? And nothing else, no games at all. So now there's not gonna be a tier without games, I think. Like, it's very confusing. Like, I'm not kidding you. Everyone is confused. Everyone is confused at this new thing because everyone's scratching their head. So what comes with each version? So there's Game Pass Core for $9.99 a month, and that will have online console multiplayer, a limited catalog of 25 plus games on console, member deals and discounts, and that's it. That's all you get for $9.99 a month. Then there's going to be Game Pass Standard, which is $14.99 a month. That will have everything I just mentioned, plus the entire Game Pass catalog of games and day one game editions. Okay? But, no, wait. No, I'm wrong. Oh my God, this is so... I can't... Why did they do this? Even I can't make heads or tails of it. I have the chart in front of me, and I can't understand it. It's the most confusing fucking thing. So there's a $10, a $15, and a $20 a month plan. $10, all you get is online play. That's it. $15, you get a limited catalog of Xbox games, but you don't get the new games. You only get the catalog of Game Pass games that exist. You don't get day one new releases. Okay? If you pay for Game Pass Ultimate, you get everything, including the day one releases, perks and discounts, EA Play, and Xbox Cloud Gaming. All right? Now, wait a minute. Did you hear what I just said? Allow me to reiterate what I just said. You only get cloud gaming with the Ultimate Pass. You have to have Ultimate to get cloud gaming. Unless you pay for another new tier that they're launching called Game Pass Cloud Gaming. All right, that's $9.99 a month. And all you get for that is online console multiplayer or cloud multiplayer, member deals and discounts in the Game Pass catalog and cloud gaming, but you don't get the day one releases at all. You only get cloud gaming. So I'm not kidding you. This is the new system. They think this is a good idea. Game Pass PC, Game Pass Core, Game Pass Standard, Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Cloud Gaming. There's 5 fucking different tiers for Game Pass now. And the only way you can get day one games released, so, you know, if I want to get all the games that are going to be day one Game Pass, like Call of Duty later this year, it's the $20 a month package, plus tax. Okay? So, hilarious to see all the different reactions of people on the internet, right? One person says, so now a year-long subscription of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate costs me $256 a year with taxes included. Laughing my ass off, and you know they're going to increase that in time too. All right? Another person, a year of Game Pass was only 95 euros. Excuse me. A year of Game Pass was only 95 pounds when the Series X released a few years ago. Now, that same library of access to day one stuff is forced into the highest tier at 180 pounds a year. I think I'm just going to buy the games. So they've doubled in price in the last 3 years. Okay? Now, as this is all being announced, breaking news, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, that's the current one, will reportedly now be added to Game Pass Ultimate later this month because of the price increase. This is one of the changes that they're about to do. Okay? So... So what exactly is Microsoft's strategy, right? Because let's be honest here. Out of everything I just described, you may be incredibly confused because everyone is. Here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what version of Game Pass you have. Your price is going up, okay? And if you're going to join Game Pass for the first time, you can't get the cheapest version. It doesn't exist anymore. There's a new version that's more expensive. Also, there was one final update that a lot of people didn't notice, but then they found it in there. From now on, you can only pre-purchase 13 months of Game Pass subscription at a time, period. You can no longer stack Game Pass past 13 months. Do you want to know why? Because when Game Pass first launched, people found ways to get discounted memberships, and they would buy 5 to 10 years of it. So they're like, well, I never need to pay for Game Pass now for a decade. So people have paid like $100 at launch time and never paid another dollar, and they have unlimited Game Pass for like a decade. So Microsoft doesn't want that to happen anymore. They realized a lot of people gamed the system when they found discounts. So now they made it you cannot have more than 13 months at a time, period. So you can only do your yearly update of your membership and one more month, and then they limit it. They say, sorry, you can't extend it past this time period. Come back later. Yeah. So, if you're a consumer, what does all this mean? It means you're paying more for less. If you're a cloud gamer, it means you can now play cloud gaming on your Fire Stick for a more expensive subscription fee. And it means that Call of Duty games apparently are coming to Game Pass. So, as a result directly of this Activision Blizzard merger, there's going to be Blizzard and Activision games now added to Game Pass, but you have to pay more. So if you're not planning on playing the Activision Blizzard games, you just got screwed because Microsoft wanted to buy another company. That's basically the story. They wanted to own another company. Now you pay for it. That's literally what it is. They're going to take, they're passing the cost of the Activision Blizzard merger buyout. They're passing that cost along to the customers, you know, which is just how inflation works too. When costs of everything go up, those increased prices are passed along to the customers, which is why in the United States, we're all paying so much more for everything right now because of inflation, you know? So, yeah, it's basically, we all have to now pay more for that. Now, if you benefit from it, great. Like, I will benefit. I'm not going to buy Call of Duty this year. I'm going to get it on Game Pass. Cool, right? If they add other Activision Blizzard games on there, I don't know what they would add. Like, I played Diablo last year. Maybe that would be a day one. That would be cool. Sure, I wouldn't have had to pay for Diablo. Neat. I'll save some money. But at the same time, it's going to be harder to justify Game Pass Ultimate at this point, right? Like right now, I'm playing no games online on Xbox. Eventually, I will be when Call of Duty comes out, right? But right now, I'm not. Okay? What am I playing on my Xbox right now? Honestly. Well, let's see. Riven's on PC. Stardew Valley's on PC. Elden Ring and Street Fighter are on PS5. Oops, I'm not actually doing anything on my Xbox right now, but I'm paying for my Game Pass subscription, right? Now, later on this month, there's a game on there. What's it called? That Kunihuriguri game? Is that what it's called? Kunihuriguri? Kunitsugami. Excuse me. Gesundheit. Kunitsugami is coming out on the 19th of July. It's uncertain whether we'll try it or not. I probably might beat Shadow of the Erdtree by then, so maybe we could give it a shot. But outside of that, there's a rumor that Visions of Mana will be part of Game Pass next month. Outside of that, I'm looking like I couldn't even tell you what the next Game Pass game is that I'm going to be playing on there. I'm looking at all these games and I'm like, are any of these day one Game Pass besides Black Ops in October? No. I know Avowed will be in. Avowed supposedly is coming out in November, right? And Microsoft Flight Sim in November. So probably October, November, I will get my money's worth out of it. But outside of that, I don't think I'm going to be getting much out of Game Pass for the next few months. Maybe I should just cancel it and then renew it later. I'm not doing anything with it. I'm only using my Xbox on Sundays for React Day, right? That's it. What about the Indiana Jones game? That's a maybe. It doesn't have a release date. There probably will be more Game Pass games this year. But yeah, you know, I don't know. It sucks. I used to say Game Pass was a great value because it was. It was like what, $12 a month, and you were getting all this game catalog and all this stuff to play. It was definitely worth it. Now it's starting to get not so good of a value anymore. Unless you're going to be into all the Activision Blizzard games they're going to be adding, then you're paying $20 a month for what? Right? It's kind of like they're going backwards here. Earlier this year, I got my value out of it. I played Another Crab's Treasure and other games, right? But it seems like they're screwing up. They keep raising prices. I mean, listen. Okay, we get it. You did the Activision Blizzard merger. You spent a lot of money on it. You're already laying off people. You're closing entire studios, and now you're going to raise the price of the one thing that was the selling point of your console. Well, you're not really adding tons of benefits. I mean, yes, the Activision Blizzard games will be a benefit, but if you don't care about that, what about everybody else, right? Sorry, I don't believe that cloud gaming on the Fire Stick is going to be a reason more people are going to become Game Pass subscribers. I think you'll get like 100 people for that. It won't be a big deal. So I'm kind of scratching my head right now. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Game Pass. I don't know. This is very bad news for the consumer. Make no mistake about it. Okay, so I hope that Xbox is not backing themselves into the wall. You know what I mean? Like I always used to tell you guys, Game Pass is the best value. I don't know if it is anymore now. With this price increase and these changes, I actually don't know legit if it's the best value. We'll have to follow this story and see what happens. Hopefully they don't lose a ton of subscribers, but they very well might. You know, I don't know what they're doing. Okay. Let's do shoutouts. We start today with Dan, who became a member for 2 months and says, "Do you think you'll ever play Kingdom Hearts again?" I have no idea. I played the first two. They were pretty good. The third one was insanely bad. Ridiculously boring button masher for children. It really didn't feel like any kind of a meaningful game. I called it the play school of RPGs. Remember? I was like, dude, this is like totally for kids. Like, I couldn't believe how bad it was compared to the first two. I think the first two were like way superior. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't know if I'll play it or not. If there's a new one, I'll have to see what it is, and if you guys are interested in seeing me play it or not. I thought 3 sucked. Ladybird did a super chat. Ladybird was the person asking for me to do a shout out. Sorry it took so long. I'm a big fan. How is Street Fighter 6 compared to other ST games? I think you meant to say compared to other Street Fighter games. Street Fighter 6 is by far the most complex Street Fighter I've ever played. It is more complex than any of the games up to this point. It has the absolute most... whoa. Hold on. It has the most mechanics and systems involved. I mean, parry, perfect parry, drive rush, drive cancel, drive reversal, drive impact. That's just the basics, right? I haven't even gotten into anything complex. I just named the basic systems in the game. And you have to learn all those before you can even play the game, which is why it actually took me a couple of months to really understand the game at any kind of a level. Yeah. I think that Street Fighter 6 is the most complex. Now, does that mean Street Fighter 6 is the best? No. I do think Street Fighter 6 is much better than 5 was. And obviously, that's a big step in the right direction, because 5 lasted 7 years and wasn't very good. But it definitely has a mixed feel for me. The good thing about Street Fighter 6 is the ability to play in different styles. You've got characters that are rushdown, characters that are zoners, characters that are hybrid grapplers, characters that are pure grapplers, characters that have keep away games but also can mix it up with high-low mix-up. Like there's a lot of different gameplay styles in Street Fighter 6. That's a very good thing. That's what you want. You want that variety aspect to the game, so that it always feels fresh. When you fight, you could fight anywhere from, what is it, like 20 plus fighters that all fight completely differently, and that's a great thing. All right, that's what I like about it. What I don't like about it is that, sadly, when it gets down to the core aspects of the game, there's a lot of guessing game gambling and a lot of, oh, you're in the corner, now you must play a mini game to escape the corner. That doesn't feel like Street Fighter. And the reason they made it like that is so that people who aren't good at fighting games have a foundation to fall upon and memorize, so they at least can play it to some extent. If it didn't have that mini game in the corner, a lot of people wouldn't have a chance, because people would just outplay them solely on fundamentals. But once you accidentally get into the corner, oops, now I got to play this gambling mini game where I have a chance to get out, but I might not get out because if this person memorized this pattern to do, this flow chart, they have a 50-50 chance of hitting you and keeping you in the corner. And it's not about them being good. It's not about them timing things right. It's literally just they guessed. And they guessed correctly, and you guessed incorrectly. It's like playing rock, paper, scissors. Like, 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh, I got out of the corner because the paper beats rock. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh, no, I guessed wrong, and I get hammered by the rock, and I stay in the corner and lose half my health bar. That's the game. And that's not good, sadly. I feel like that's, kind of stupid. But anyone can do it, and it's the whole game. And every single character, it's the same in the corner. It's just like that. So, sadly, that's what I don't like about it. So there's things I like about Street Fighter 6. There's things I don't like about Street Fighter 6. It's a love-hate relationship for me. Hair of the Dog did a super chat and says, "Woo, it's DSP News." Thank you, Hair of the Dog. Yes, we did DSP News earlier, but that's when he did that super chat. What the hell just happened? My keyboard stopped working. Wonder if I need new batteries. And yes, it's spelled like that. Okay. All right, excellent. All right, our first tip of the day. So no, Carl took the dollar saying he hasn't been around recently. He'd like me to recap the last year to 2 years. No. I'm not going to do that. Here's what I will say. We had a good year. Why? No drama. It's been a drama-free year. I haven't involved myself in drama. I've stayed completely out of drama. People keep trying to suck me in. I refuse to participate. Instead, it's just been really good. Now, I know we're going to have some drama coming up in August when this documentary about me hits. But at the very same time, it's literally treading the same ground everyone else has. I think there will be some new stuff in that documentary, but it'll be stuff about my past, like pre-YouTube, that a lot of people have never covered. The YouTube side stuff has been so arduously covered by so many people already. There's no way it's going to cover any new ground. It's going to rehash a lot of it. I don't really care. I've been there, done that. There's nothing new to talk about in that regard. In fact, if anything, the last few years, it's just been more positive stuff rather than the same over negative shit that they like to focus on over and over. It's the same shit ad nauseum. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm really not. I think it's going to be fine. And we're going to continue on with a great year. No problems. I'm going to stay out of drama as much as I can. We got good variety of stuff covered, right? I'm actually doing well in regards to, gameplay and viewership and support. Things have been better. Earlier this year was a little slow as I played Baldur's Gate 3. Things picked up after then. So, yeah, that's it. That's the summary. All right, guys. So, we're going to do just a little bit of Q&A. But before we get to that, I just want to say, please, guys, support the streams today. You know the deal. When it comes to my streams, I'm a crowdfunded individual. And therefore, it is you guys supporting the streams that allows me to make a living doing it and continue to enjoy what I love. If you could support the streams today, that would be great. There's many different ways you could do that, including super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifted memberships, and tips. I try to raise $50 every stream in tips that I do. Yeah, that's that. I will shout them out when you contribute. Okay? All right, cool. All right, let's open up the chat to Q&A. I have no other shout outs to do. I've shouted out all the contributions so far. Okay? Yes, Jasper does know when we're sad and tries to comfort me. And Kat, particularly, both of us. Yes, he does. He can tell. He doesn't know what's going on, but he can tell when we're upset by something, and he does try to be nice and comfort. He does. Rest in peace to Shelley Duvall, who passed away today, actress who famously played the mother in The Shining and many other movies and shows as well over the years. Yes, that was just brought out in my chat. I guess that is true. Jade says I have a game over sign just like Bison. He just realized that. I'm like, yeah, actually, you're right. I just realized that too. Now that you said that. Bison sign right there. Game over. Yeah, it's doing fine. Thank you for asking. I don't give a rat's ass about Boogie or anything about him, just so you guys know. I already said my piece on Boogie. I did nothing but was nice to that guy. He basically became a scumbag and treated me badly and then tried to pin stuff on me. I guess he's publicly talked shit about me tons of times, you know, on that stupid podcast show. I don't give a fuck about that man at all. So I don't want to know anything about him. Oh, well, I wish him the best, but he burned that fucking bridge down as much as he possibly could. So I don't give a shit about that guy at all. I don't want to know anything about him. You have to tell me updates in the chat. I don't care about that man. There's only so much you could be nice to someone, and then they just, they try to basically treat you like dirt for personal gain. Well, fuck off then. I have nothing to do with you. Go on, do what you want with your life. I have nothing to do with you at all. People keep asking me this, would I try a leverless controller? I'm not against the idea of a leverless controller at all. Your 4 fingers will be like left, right, up, down, and you just have to memorize, I guess, which would be like, what would it be? Obviously, like left would be probably your ring finger, right? That'd be left. Probably your middle finger would be jump. And then I guess your pointer finger would be right. And then, yeah, and then your thumb would be down. So the tricky part would be like blocking down back. I could see it. I could see like learning. It would take a while. There'd be a learning curve involved, but I absolutely could see that. I think my concern would be that I'm getting older, and already I could tell you this hand is getting some carpal tunnel. If you're constantly having to use this hand to mess with the 4 buttons to move, it probably would kill my left hand, right? I don't think it would work. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I don't think so. Sarah Sagata says this Game Pass stuff is crazy. I'd rather just buy the games when I want them instead of pay to rent them monthly. I think the idea, right, is this. You're getting a benefit from Game Pass because you're literally playing more games without having to pay for them. You're paying $20 a month, but you're getting access to a lot of games that you would have to buy for more expensive prices. For example, Still Wakes the Deep was what, $40? I got it on Game Pass, so I didn't have to buy it, and I played it, and I beat it in like, what was it, 4 hours, 5 hours? It's a very short game. Another Crab's Treasure. There's a game that's incredibly long, lots of value, but a lot of people probably would not have bought. What was that? Well, another $40 or whatever, $50, and I got that on there, right? So yeah, like I could see the value. If you're talking about, oh well, now I just don't have to pay for games anymore because I have Game Pass. I mean, not really. You do have to keep paying Game Pass every single month, and if it's $20 a month, that's $240 a year plus tax. So actually, it's around 260 something a year, right? And are you getting enough value out of that? I guess the question is, are you, if $260+ a year is the amount that you would have paid for the games outright? Like if I right now concretely take a look at all the games that I played this year, all right, let's do this. Go to playlist. Go to playlist. Let's work now. Okay, so Still Wakes the Deep. That was, let's say, $44, right? Let's see here. All right, Hellblade 2. That was what, $30, $40? Let's say it was 40 because I don't remember. Let's say it was 40. So it's $88 right there. Little Kitty Big City, right? That would have been like what, $20, $30? I don't know how much that was. Let's say 30. So now let's say we're up to $110. Another Crab's Treasure. I think that was 40. So another 44. So now we're up to like $150, right? Well, Fallout 4, technically, yes, because I don't think I owned it digitally, but Fallout 4 wasn't expensive to begin with. But let's say, for argument, Fallout 4, so let's say it's another $20, so $170, right? Harold Halibut. Well, I didn't beat it, but I did play it. Let's say that's $30, and now we're up to like $200, right? What else here? I think that might be it for so far this year. Okay, so I think that's it up to this point this year. I think that covers what I've done on Game Pass. Okay, so now, what else this year? Well, I'm absolutely positively 100% getting Call of Duty on there, and that would be something that I would have paid 70 plus tax, right? So now we're already up to $270 in value, okay? So any other game that I play on Game Pass this year, I've now actually saved money from what I would have paid, okay? But there's also the fact that you probably will play more games on Game Pass, right? Because you have them basically under that system. So basically, you could also argue that, yeah, so I'm going to pay 270 or play 270, but there's others I might check out because they're on there. So you got to add that on there too. You know what I'm saying? Like Fed Rogers is Avowed and Indiana Jones. You also forgot about Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2, what are you talking about? Hellblade 2 I played on PlayStation 5. That's incorrect. Now play that on Xbox. So anyway, so yeah, I think for me, being that I'm someone who is playing a wide variety of games, I'm a variety streamer. There's some games that I'm going to check out, like Harold Halibut, that won't work out, but I don't have to pay for them. While there's other games like Another Crab's Treasure that are pleasant surprises and I end up doing giant playthroughs of. I think Game Pass still kind of works for me. I don't know how much value it would have for someone else. I'm just being honest. That's your mileage may vary, as they say, right? Okay. Yeah, Snowcrawl tipped another dollar, says, what are you doing about your hand? Are you doing any exercises? I mean, as I get older, I'm going to have to start doing more regular exercises, stretch exercises for the hand. Make sure that the nerves don't get pinched, to make sure that everything's working well. I do have these hand exercisers that I can use. Okay? But, you know, if it starts to hurt worse and or give me more issues, I will likely, you know, do more research into the proper things that I should be doing and start doing them. I haven't gotten serious about it yet, simply because it hasn't gotten that bad yet, but it very well could, right? By the way, if you haven't noticed, I've been frequently checking my phone to see if there's any updates on the joystick being delivered, and as of right now, there's still none. It just keeps saying, now arriving today, 12 to 3 p.m., and I keep checking, and it keeps saying, out for delivery, but doesn't give any update. So I guess it's out for delivery, but it's not in the next couple of hours, which sucks. So I guess we're going to play with this bootleg setup with the Hayabusa stick and the crooked button to start. See how that goes. And then once the Sanwa shows up, maybe do the swap when it shows up. I don't know if we'll be doing ranked today, but because of this issue, we'll see. But let's at least give it a shot and see how I do. Okay. Why not swap Riven and Street Fighter? Because Riven is a late night chill stream that has its audience instilled in the late shift. People are used to coming by for late night chill streams. They're not used to coming by in the day for Riven. So if I did Riven right now, I'd have a much smaller audience than I should probably have for a day stream. And that's why I'm not going to do that. What makes me prefer Dalsim over JP? Dalsim is just more traditional. I like the stretchy limb idea. I don't like the idea that JP is keep away solely on kind of this projectile setup. I'm not saying he's bad at all. I'm just saying I think I like Dalsim. He's more traditional. I like his setups better. I like the idea of teleporting around, big flashy stretchy limbs, catching the enemy and doing juggles and stuff. JP is more just toss a bunch of projectiles out there and hope your enemy walks into them, right? And every once in a while, I hate to say it, mashing a high priority move and hoping that it hits. If it hits, wow, giant counter hit into huge combo. You know, I think that Dalsim's a little different than that. And I enjoy him more because of that. Oh, you said Hellblade and Helldivers 2? Or I said Hellblade 2. I said Hellblade 2. In the games on Game Pass, I included that in my calculation. When does the Girl in the Big Fish game come out? Oh, are you talking about that game we saw during Summer Game Fest? Don't know. They didn't announce it, anything about that. Right. It looked interesting, but they didn't announce any specifics about it yet. Rock Hard Nipple, a name that I'm definitely not putting on my leaderboard, just hit me $3 and said, have you considered doing a Super Mario Wonder playthrough? It's a fantastic game. I did. I already played the entire game when it was brand new. You can check out that playthrough right here on this channel. So give it a look. We're up to $5 in tips now, by the way. People and their nonsense, their names. I received a $10.01 tip. Don't be upset about tutorial videos and fighting games. You made some good ones yourself. You got me into Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3 back in the day. Any chance you go back to making those? No. I don't. First of all, I don't get early access to fighting games like these people who are the golden snowflakes of the fighting game community. So I wouldn't be able to give you that early heads-up style content regardless. I don't play games at that level where I'm micro-analyzing them. If you want to know the truth, I didn't really do it those back then either. You know, when Street Fighter 4 came out, I did play a lot of it, but it was just more casualized gameplay. It wasn't my attempt to become like a high-end tournament player. Now you have every possible person trying to do that, micro-analyzing, over-analyzing, and they're going to put so much more time into it than I am that they're just going to make better videos anyway. So I would not be getting into that kind of stuff moving forward. I appreciate you saying that because I remember like when Street Fighter 4 came out, I did a video on Blanca basics, and I did a video on Balrog's extended FADC combos, where I showed his maximum FADC combo using all of the meter, and how you could do an insane amount of hits with it and stuff. No one used it because it was very scalable, so no one cared about that much FADCing, but I remember I showed it at first. I was the first person to really show that. They put it on event hubs and everything back then. But I basically very quickly stopped caring so much about being someone known for playing Street Fighter at a good level. I just wanted to make entertaining videos. Joel Loft, I have no idea if I'll keep Game Pass Ultimate or not. It'll depend on many factors, like how many games are on Game Pass Ultimate that I will continue to play. Will there actually be more features or values or not? I guess we'll have to see. The big dog, that was you. You're saying this tip was you? I'll trust you if you're saying that was you. You're sure you weren't the rock hard nipple? That wasn't you? You're sure? Will I ever play Persona 3 Reload? I have no idea. I was interested in it when it came out, but there were too many other RPGs at the time. It was horrible release timing. And since then, people haven't even wanted me to go back to the games I skipped, besides one person who literally every day posts up, where's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on all my videos. Outside of that, no one really cares, and people have been liking the fact I stayed away from JRPGs. So I don't know how eager I am to rush back to them. I guess we'll have to see. Would I consider playing the new Madden next month? I have no interest in Madden. Zero. Do I not like DJ in Street Fighter 6? I played him the launch week. It was my absolute worst performance because he plays absolutely, positively nothing like DJ from Super Turbo. Even the moves that look the same have completely different properties. So he is basically a rush-down, mix-up juggle character rather than a keep-away character, which is actually how he was played in Super Turbo, more keep-away range, and then you could maybe get offensive in their face with good timing. He's completely different in this one, and that's why I didn't like him. I wasn't looking for rush-down style when I started playing Street Fighter 6. Maybe I would like him more now that I can do rush down because I understand drive rushing and everything, but I just never went back to him. And quite frankly, I don't have time to learn a million characters, right? I don't play the game enough. Here we are, a few weeks into Bison. I'm trying to get better with him, but I don't think I'm going to be taking up new characters at this point. J-Stan, I don't think that I'm going to be putting any reviews on the Throwback channel at this point, only because they exist fully fine now. Those reviews don't need to be updated or anything like that. They could be watched in their entirety fine now. The gameplay is what looks like crap, sounds like crap, is in way too short parts, right? No thumbnails, no titles. That's what we're trying to do with the Throwback channel, is revive old content that's outdated and make it more modernized. The reviews are just reviews. There's really nothing to modernize about them or do anything to them, right? You would die a happy woman if you could see me in the cloud wing one more time. Well, I bring back the YouTube challenge series for fighting games. There'd have to be more than one fighting game that I want to play at a time. Right now, I'm so outdated on Tekken, I wouldn't even be able to go back to it. When the Versus collection comes out, I do want to play all those games. The collection is going to have a significant amount of games that I do want to actually play. So I would actually check out a bunch of those. Maybe we can do something with that. I don't know. Did my toilet sue me for abuse? Well, luckily for me, my toilet is an inanimate object, not capable of sentient thought, so no. I guess it's a good thing. All right, I guess we should adjourn the show and get ready for Street Fighter, as messed up as it's probably going to be on my stick right now. So thank you guys for watching the Level 1 podcast. I hope you enjoyed this epic finale of the show. And tomorrow, I will obviously let you know about what happened, if and when the joystick arrived, all kinds of stuff, right? There you go. By the way, Sarah, with the 17-month membership message saying, what a way to celebrate 17 months. Love you, DSP. All right. Guys, thank you. See you tomorrow. Peace out.